correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Exactly.
Oh, good God.
Oh,
So I feel like the Bumble is
okay. Yeah, but he's.
Are you
I
even
didn't think
insane?
the Bumble's a bad guy.
no.
That's my complaint with this whole situation. Like they put Rudolph on there, and that's why he's there.
Yeah.
But like he's not a bad guy. He's just
Yep.
a
Never actually seen that.
What? You've never seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
I don't think so.
Wait, you're from my generation.
I also grew up
Wait.
with only PBS.
It was on PBS.
Yeah, I watched it on PBS.
It was like
And
that,
I'm-
Charlie
I'm
Brown.
28. I watched it on PBS.
Yeah, but
It
see,
played yearly. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
right.
the-
By that point, I didn't watch
claymation?
PBS anymore because I'd left home.
But it's public broadcast channel
I just honestly, I don't know that
station.
I
You can
probably
always
have. It's
access
been
it.
forever.
That is the wildest thing I've heard in like 3 weeks.
But like PBS is always accessible no matter where you
Well,
are.
I know it's accessible. It doesn't mean it's chosen.
right.
There. But it played a lot of good stuff.
Oh, there is great stuff there. I'm not arguing that.
Well, and
Like
you
a
weren't
cartoon
in the
right
Pittsburgh
now.
area, but the Pittsburgh area PBS station has especially good programming.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got the Clearfield PBS station.
Oh.
Clearfield sucks. Pittsburgh PBS had like, it had all the
Well, that's where
great
Mr. Rogers
documentaries.
came from.
Well, yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
you
and
wanna
then
know what's
also,
funny?
go ahead.
Brett used to work for the PBS affiliate in Boston.
Nice, Julia Childs came from Boston PBS.
Yes, she
Well,
did.
I forget what the call sign was, but I remember seeing it all the time in credits for stuff. It was like a different division of it, but
To go, you have
Rick
homework, Steve.
Seaback. What was that?
Old Steve has homework.
I have so many things that I intend to watch. Like you don't want to know the list of like iClassic movies that I've not seen.
Iconic and classic together.
iClassic.
I was telling Steve,
So
pardon the mess behind me because
you're fine. Yeah. If you ever want to crash course on Pittsburgh, go look up any of the Rick Seaback documentaries out of WQED Pittsburgh. He did a bunch of them on like local amusement parks. He's talked about cultural things. It's some of the best documentary work. Like growing up seeing that stuff is why I'm so critical of documentaries now. Like I watch a ton of documentaries for whatever reason. They're easy to consume and I love learning new shit. And I am so critical of documentaries.
I've been watching the documentary series. That's a few years old now. The Last Dance. I'm almost.
Oh
done
yeah,
with
I
it.
did watch that. That was good. The Last Dance was good. I haven't watched anything recently. The last thing I watched recently was the Muscle Shoals documentary, which was really interesting. Talking about the Swampers and like Muscle Shoals in general, and like that entire recording space and all the music that was recorded there.
You
Cool
watched
stuff.
You told me you watched Little Band from Texas, right?
A little band from
The
Texas.
ZZ
Yeah,
Top one.
a while ago. It's okay. I'm there's a reason I sort of forgot.
I mean,
It's neat. It's ZZ Top, and I'm not complaining that everybody needs their documentary, but I think I don't know. I've seen more interesting ones recently that are like, oh, this is cool.
they're not so much documentaries in that context, but you would probably really enjoy. There's a YouTube channel. It's called Sunset Sound Studios or Sunset Sound Recordings.
I think I've
They
seen
started
them.
doing it in 2020 during the pandemic, but they get a lot of like the old engineers and producers of like where I found them was they were talking about a lot of the original Van Halen recordings.
Yeah,
And
they're
you know,
cool.
what Prince recorded there, and just tons and tons and tons of people. And there's really pretty interesting, you know, tidbits of stuff.
As far as music YouTubers, there's only two guys I care about. There's Polyphonic, which does really cool stuff as far as like music documentaries, and then there's Two Tone, who does music breakdowns. He like picks a song and breaks it down. I have to try and find that.
I don't know. I mean, he's more guitar centric, but Rick Beato's channel is pretty darn good.
I like Beato. I
His
like
interviews are really good.
Beato's really cool. I like watching his interviews. You're right. 12 Tone is the guy's channel, not Two Tone.
Okay.
And he breaks down like popular songs, but on sheet music. So you can see you can visually see what the leitmotifs and repeating patterns and all that cool stuff comes from.
Okay.
12 Tone does some really cool stuff. They did a breakdown of Comfortably Numb a couple years ago. Did a couple breakdowns of like Nirvana or drum fills talking about heavy metal. They did a Now and Then video on the new Beatles song, which I think sounds like ass. Just saying.
You've probably seen it. It was rolling around TikTok for a while. I don't remember who posted it, but it's a clip with Richie Blackmore from back, looks like probably back in the 80s. Smoke on the Water is just a riff on Beethoven's Fifth.
Yes. Yeah. He broke that down. That was funny.
And it was funny to hear it from the guy who wrote it.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, oh, well, yeah, it's just Beethoven's Fifth. I just did a little this, did a little that, and called it good enough. Oh. All right. Well, do you guys want to get started on shenanigans?
Let the shenanigans commence.
Would you like to shenan again?
All right.
3, roll dice. 6, 2, 2 is what we got. So our first adventure is going to be Frosty the Snowman wants to guide Santa's sled and is going to team up with an armed group of misfits. Awesome.
Excellent.
So it's
Excellent.
Hans Gruber's Mooks versus the Misfits of Frosty the Snowman.
Yes. So, well, it's that time of year again. It's Christmas. You all have gathered at your favorite bar to talk mad smack about the time of the year and, you know, enjoy libations. When an important news bulletin comes across the screen announcing that this year, instead of Santa Claus delivering the presents, it will be Frosty the Snowman. And that he has announced that no matter what, Christmas will happen. How?
You know,
I
you
believe I would
Americans,
respond as anyone would respond. Despondently.
I would be despondent if this is the best beer that I had to drink too.
It's rubbled.
Just as long as that damn nose doesn't show up this time.
Oh, you mean Rudolph. Ugh. I hate that guy.
I used to have a cousin named Rudolph. He was an asshole too.
Mm.
As you're having this conversation, in busts a handful of misfit toys, or a handful of in busts a handful of just misfit, you know, elves and toys, and this whole rabble-rousing gang comes in to sort of persuade you to not attempt to stop anything that's about to happen. Now listen here. You folks are known criminals in the Frosty organization, and we agree not to bother you if you stay away from our boss and his plan for world domination. I mean, Christmas domination. Are we clear?
You guys look like you fit my Elfomatic 3000 handheld cannon. You're my
I
ammunition.
believe you should go yourselves.
I'm gonna pick up one of the elves and shove him in my hand. And
Okay.
fire him at the rest of them.
Roll me a d6. And because you're using your equipment, you get a +1.
I rolled a 6. So I pick up that loudmouth elf, and he fits
Okay.
nicely in the Elfomatic 3000, and I fire him right at the big group of people coming through the door, and I hopefully get him right back out the door.
Okay. What did you get on your dice?
A 6.
A 6. So you pack this little elf right into that hand cannon, fire him, this loud cracking pop lets loose, and he goes flying across the room like a bowling ball into the rest of them and just knocks them, rolls them out the door, and we are off to the races.
Sorry,
Seeing this
Princey,
act
that
of
was loud.
aggression. Seeing this act of aggression, how do you two?
There is room in my organization for someone with your talents.
I got a big cannon and a short
Oh
temper.
my. I can't believe I saw you take them out with such violence.
I mean, he really took them out. I didn't take. I just sent them on it.
And the irony. I love it.
Well, you know what I think we should do? We should go and whale Frosty and take all his stuff.
I think you should take his
because-
hat. He would look good in his hat.
You're right, I might. That or my brother.
Yes.
My brother.
And I'll
might
take
like
the
his hat.
toys, and then I'll drop them off a cliff.
No. We sell them.
Oh, you can do that. You can sell them.
Yes. We throw this large. I've got this big
If I
pile
want
of
that
coal. We fill your bag with the coal. Throw that over the cliff.
I'm
Everyone
struggling
thinks
to
the presents
believe
disappeared.
that they want that. Really? Crump and noodads and whizzamagigs. The noise. They like it. They like the noise. Well, if they want it, they can have it. But if I get some money from it, then excellent.
Oh,
You
better
have
yet.
good plans.
No, I have a better plan. We take the coal, put it in the sack, exchange it for the toys, and then everyone gets coal, not toys.
That's brilliant.
And we sell the
That
toys.
Faith and Chris will be ruined.
Or elves.
We'll be ruining the innocence and childhood, the entire world. None can have Christmas if they don't believe in Christmas. Traumatize them early.
We're
So
gonna
how
go
do we find out
ruin-
where we can waylay this joker?
Max, come here, Max. There.
Okay, what are you doing with Max?
I'm gonna get Max to go sniff out the toy. That snowman stench.
Why's he got a stick on his head?
That's a horn. Majestic and beautiful. I tried so hard.
It's
You
held
don't
on
like
with
my
a piece of
wax?
string.
That's all I had. I live in the garbage.
You know what? I will also reach out. I have one of my associates went on a long walk to Texas. I will call him. He's very good with computers. Perhaps he can look something up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need both of you to roll a d6. Just let me know what the result is, and it will both be with it'll be with both with +1s.
Okay. Because I better get a bonus for that reference.
I got a 5, so 6.
Okay.
I got a 3 with the bonus.
Ugh.
Apparently,
Okay.
my former associate is reformed now.
Yeah. You reach out, there's no answer. However, Max does manage to run out the door, grab one of the misfit elves, drag him back in, kicking and screaming.
So, buddy, do you know where the big man is?
I'm gonna pick him up and
Please
hold
don't
him
kill
by
me.
his shirt.
Please
Good,
don't kill
good.
me.
I don't like having blood on my fingers, big man.
I'll tell you anything. I'll tell you anything. Please don't kill me.
Where's the big man? Where is the big red
The big man's
suit?
tied up
Well, we like
Where's he
that.
tied up?
up north, where we come from. You know, just past Whoville.
Oh, 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 Whoville.
Yeah, they're making all kinds of noise this year.
Of course, nothing but noise. Oh, but be putting an end to that, won't we?
I think at this point, Hans pulls out his pistol and
Oh, I wouldn't get that man angry. He has weapons.
Frosty is up north. He's at the North Pole. He's running the organization up there. You might want to go soon. Just
And-
don't kill me. I just want to be a dentist.
Do you got a ride we can borrow? Big boy.
There's a sleigh and some reindeer out front.
No reindeer.
Good. We were never here.
I mean,
Dentist
whatever,
boy.
man.
I
Put him
just shoot
down.
him.
You just shoot him.
Yep.
You hear the gunfire.
Eh,
Uh,
yeah, that's one way to.
roll me a d6. I just want to see if you roll low enough, there will be repercussions for this.
I got a 3 on the
no.
die.
You got a 3 again.
3.
Uh,
Yeah, 3 on the die. It was 2 on the die plus 1 last time.
Yeah. That's not a 1. There's no major repercussions. The bartender just tells you that you've made enough noise and it's time to get out.
Say, not everyone likes noise.
The bartender, as you're leaving, looks at you and goes, "Merry Christmas, by the way, you filthy animals."
Ah! Humbug.
I'm gonna go out and assess the reindeer situation.
I will go with
So-
him.
There is a smaller sleigh. Kind of looks like maybe Santa's sleigh, but just tinier, more compact. And 4 mechanical reindeer pulling.
I can't fit on.
No, just hold on to
Some-
the back. You'll be fine.
Somebody give me a roll. Or
Alright,
all
I'll
of you give me a roll. I don't care.
That's a 1.
Oh,
That's a 2.
oof. Terry, unless you have a
Ah.
miracle here,
Ah,
roll dice.
oh yeah. Didn't realize my microphone. 1d6 again. That is a 1.
Oh, okay. Never mind. So unfortunately, there's nothing in the sleigh to assist with this current situation. The best you could do would be to either hang on or hop on the back of one of the reindeer.
All right. Well, I'll cut him loose.
Oh,
Don't I have
what?
a van parked?
Can your van go all the way to the North Pole?
You'd be
Pansy.
surprised what proper connections can do for you.
I'll say you have a van parked. I'll say you have that. And so I
mean-
imagine like you 3 out in the snow tying a van to this sleigh. Like the sleigh is gonna pull the van. Like Hans doesn't have much sense as he does money. You know, the Bumble is pretty strong but not super smart. And
I was the one that came up with the idea.
yeah, and you're the ingenuitive one. So I imagine you've like in your very like crass way connected these two together.
Wait, he actually did something like that in the movie, the live action movie.
Yeah.
He redesigned the sleigh. So I could totally have done that, just like merged his van and the sleigh together to be this unholy abomination of welded metal and like combustion.
Yeah. Perfect.
Does there
The
happen
deer
to
are
be
providing levitation. The car is providing the thrust.
Does there happen to be a Yugo and a Mini around?
Roll me a d6. I'll tell you if there are.
4.
Describe to me why you want these things.
I need roller skates.
Oh, yeah, that's in character. I'll say there is. I'll say there's like
A
there's
pair of
like
smart cars.
a smart car or like what would be even a funnier car than that? There's a
Conversely,
Reliant Robin.
I have an even better idea.
Go
Could
for
I
it.
have a limousine and it'd be a skateboard?
A longboard?
Yeah,
That's perfect. Like one of those extra
Sure.
long Hummers.
yeah.
Sure.
All right, sweet.
I'll-
We're doing that.
So you get it all rigged up. You guys take off to the North Pole. and it is currently 10 p.m. Midnight rolls around in 2 hours. But miraculously, by the magic of Christmas, you arrive at the North Pole with plenty of time to spare. As you arrive, everything is kind of in disarray. You've all been here at some point or another, and you know this is usually a well-run operation. Right now, there are just people running and screaming everywhere.
While we're on the way, I make a phone call, claiming to be a member of the Asian Dawn and claiming that we are going to shoot down Santa's sleigh if he violates Albanian airspace.
um,
Sorry.
as you call, go ahead and give me a roll for that. It'll be a +1 because you are using your connections properly.
I got a 2.
Oh, you call, but there's no answer, unfortunately. But you guys arrive. You find a series of buildings, one of which being the workshop. This sleigh sort of takes you back to the stables, which isn't attached to much. How are you guys attempting? So, as you land, you sort of suspect, based on the security around it, um, and, based on the security around it, that there is Frosty is held up inside of like the headquarters here. How are you as a crew attempting to bust through that door and thwart him? Or are you even attempting to bust through that door? Are you going to wait until he comes out to get in the sled? What are we doing here?
Well, I think we rig a bunch of explosives to the door the sleigh comes out of, and as they open it to take off with the sleigh, we push the button. Boom! No more. Wait, no, that doesn't work with the coal and the sack. And I think we need to sneak in and steal all the toys out of the sack.
So you want to blow it up?
No, well, no, we make people think it blow up. Well, we blow something up, just not what they think is blowing up. Maybe we blow up the sleigh with the sack after we steal the toys, but we film it and put it on television.
Saturday,
Yeah, sure.
after you get my good side.
No, we don't want to be on the television. We
Oh,
want the people to think that Santa had a terrible accident.
I can make terrible.
Okay, so you are in charge. Here, you take the detonators, okay? And I get
Sorry, I'm back. Took a nap.
I get Victor. Victor, you take the explosives. Go with Bumble. Get everything ready. Bumble, you have the detonators, okay?
So wait, what's the plan?
So
We're gonna blow something up, right?
well, eventually, yes. But see, we have to take the presents from the sack, right? Then we replace it with coal and the explosives and a couple of the detonators, right? And then
Yeah.
we film if Frosty or Santa as they take off, right? And when we set out the detonator and everything go kaboom, then we release that to the television stations, and everyone think that Santa is dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the way that sounds. We eliminate Frosty, and we get rid of the Fat Man.
Okay.
And we sell the presents and then retire to a chalet somewhere in Finland.
I don't know what a chalet is, but it sounds lovely this time of year.
Oh,
What do the detonators look like?
They're in
That's
that
a-
bag.
Oh, looks like little bows. How quaint.
all right.
And
So
it is
in order
plastic.
in order to do
Victor has the
this,
explosives.
Victor has the explosives. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
In order to do this, I'm going to need a round of checks. The first person that needs to make a check is going to be Steve, who is using Victor to plant the explosives.
But yeah, but first we have to steal the presents and replace the presents with the coal
Okay.
and the explosives.
Who
I don't
is-
know how we
so
do that
I'm
part yet.
guessing I'm guessing you're having the Grinch steal the
Exactly.
presents because he's good
I
at
stole
stealing
Christmas.
Christmas.
An entire village is
Okay.
It was lovely.
I need you. I need you to tell me and give me a roll of how you're stealing Christmas.
All the elves in the base, touring their guard. I will find a hole in their century line, said the Grinch. And then he did slither and slime like a snake, and slithered right through the fence with great pace. After which he used Max as a gavel, and beat a guard senseless, and took on his clothes for easy travel, pretending to be elfish, as he's disguised master is wont to do. Sneaks and creeps over to security. He knocks on the door, knock, 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 and with a gleeful grin, asks the guard, "Hey, buddy, can you let me in?" The guard replied,
Sure, come on in, and opened the door.
Then, as quick as a flash, he jumped into the sleigh and bagged up the goodies, for later they will save, and replaced for the devil that was cooked up for later. And with a flash as he'd entered, he flashed away too, with a big bag of toys for ready. And then he went through this the direction he'd came, climbed over the fence, and back to his.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm not even going to make you roll for that. You just did it.
Thank you.
All right.
Terry, you need to stop
Well.
making the rest of us look bad.
Moving on from that, Bumble, you are in charge of the detonator.
A mistake for sure.
A mistake, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So the Bumble looks at these detonators and doesn't exactly understand what they're for, but they
Right.
look tasty.
Oh,
So he looks at them and he's got a little grumble in his stomach. Oh, and he just eats them all.
why don't you roll me a d6 and just tell me what number that is? Because if you roll a 1, something funny's gonna happen.
That's
And
a
if
1.
you roll a 6, oh no.
That's a one.
Man.
As you swallow them and they sort of make their way down, you hear a series of tink, 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 and then a loud boom
Oh,
as
my
the entire
God.
stable
I had to
explodes.
set up the line.
Oh my
Um,
God.
because you filled Santa's sack with C4.
Detonators?
And with that boom, slithering out from the front door, much as he does in the cartoon, comes Frosty the Snowman, this badly clay animated snowman voiced
By Burl Ives.
by Burl Ives.
They look like they were full of iron.
Well, I mean, technically you're right. But a little discretion, a little diet might next time. A little self-control.
I don't know what.
Well, that explains everything.
Bumble,
But thank
where
you for
are
the
my
snack, Hans.
detonators?
Yeah, thank you for the snack, Hans.
Is that what they mean by up for roast such a clatter?
You know, for our purposes, yes, it works out just fine. I don't know, just all kinds of shit. Stole their stapler, too.
So out slides Frosty and a whole string of his minions as he comes out and goes, "Well, would you look at that? You blew up my sleigh. Now, which one of you misfits blew up my sleigh?" "Oh, I'm not
Well-
gonna do the hurting. I'ma send my misfit minions to do the hurting." And all of these little badly animated elves flood at you.
Speed up, Hansi boy. You've been around the magical a long time. We lost him.
No.
Oh, God. Well, it wasn't a great loss anyway.
Uh,
A mind is a terrible thing.
I'm going to start running at the elves.
Roll a d6 plus 1 because you are the Bumble.
7.
7. Perfect. So I imagine you sort of choppily animated
Don't
run
hurt
towards
me.
the elves with your arms stretched out wide and just sort of clothesline a bunch of them.
Yep, that's my goal. And like some of them comically spin around my arm, even though
you're not
physics
one of
says
the-
they shouldn't.
You didn't
Right.
do that?
As you make it through the first wave, a handful of elves with just bright red
Who's
lanterns
Hans?
come out
My name's
and
Bill.
sort of wave them in your face as a precaution.
And I slam the ground with my fists.
Okay. Roll me another d6 to see what kind of damage we're doing with that slam.
And then it'll be my turn next, and I got something to. Yeah.
What the hell? It's only 6s or 1s. I got a 1.
So you we'll move on from you then. As you go to slam the ground, you sort of trip and do a tumbling, rolling somersault into just birds flying, dazed spin.
Like, do I get that big snowball effect? Like I'm a big snowball now rolling down a hill?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. You take out a couple more misfit elves, and then we'll move on from there since you are now incapacitated.
All right. I'll take my turn next. I'm going to. Sorry. I'm going to tell Max, grab the bottles. And Max starts handing me bottle after bottle full of actual, like, very high alcohol content grain whiskey.
Right.
You know? And I just
Right.
drink, I just hold the bottle, crunching the glass, extend a one of those long candle lighters, and shoot out
All right.
flaming projectiles of glass at the elf army.
Okay.
And just
roll me in.
Max is grabbing more ammo for reload.
Roll me a d6 plus 1.
6. That's a 4 plus 1 is 5. That's a 5.
Okay. With your
elves are gonna die tonight.
with your spraying of the glass and fire, and you take out another wave of elves until a string of the dancing monkeys with the like toy with the clattering what you call it, come stomping cymbals is what I was looking
The symbol monkeys?
Yes.
Yeah.
They come clancing their way out towards you, just choom, 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 choom.
I got a counter already planned up. I'm gonna open up the bag of toys.
Okay,
Right.
go for it.
Hans needs to go first, right? Hans, what you got?
Okay. Roll me a d6 plus 1 since you're trying to get a hold of somebody else to see if you can I don't know, assuage some of this shooting. 3. Oh. No answer. So you are going to have to do some shooting. I'll have you roll another d6 to do your shooting. Let the shooting commence. So what did you take as your item, Steve? Oh, you took the call. Okay.
So I think Hans will take his
Right.
I took the
machine gun
sense
and
of
just generally spray a
crushing
bit,
disillusionment.
over the head of the elves. But he
So
will
you
pick up the radio.
spray
Niels,
much
Niels,
like
come
Hans
in,
Gruber
Niels.
does in the movie. Just
Like
grabs that
he's
Uzi and
trying
just
to shoot them,
sprays
but I don't think
a
he's that
handful of these
competent with
elves.
the gun. I can roll
And
if you want, but
you take out a handful of them, but there's just too many. You're just feeling overwhelmed. And as you all look sort
two
of
other
down and
dice.
out,
So 3.
Frosty comes and splits the massive wave of elves and sort of slides his way up to you. Are you giving up yet? Or are we going to do this
I
all
got
day?
a 4 on that one.
I missed. I did miss the line. I
Coming
don't care.
news.
Well, Tabby,
Cole.
are you the
Because
fat man I'm looking
I'm
for?
just basically.
Well, I don't know about a
just
fat man,
random
but I am
property.
a snowman.
I'm looking for Santa Claus.
Well, I ain't no
Yeah,
Santa
have you
Claus
heard of him?
either. You could meet him if you want to.
And what would it cost me?
Oh, you know, just your freedom and a lot of noise. Noise.
Noise, noise, noise. I hate the noise. Noise, noise. We will not surrender. We will not give in this night. I will unleash hell upon you, snowman, and we will be victorious. Now, how about you run along before I whoop the mass?
And with that, what are you doing?
I'm gonna grab Max
Okay.
and just like face his ass to him and just tickle his stomach. What you go, Max? And just like this puff of just rancid ass fart just like fires out, and bringing back the lighter that I still have, just woof, Max flamethrower.
Okay. Roll me a d6 plus 2.
All right. That's a 6 plus 2 is 7, 8. That's pretty good. That's pretty
Nice.
great.
Nice. So you managed to grab up Max, tickle him with one hand, light a fart with the other, and just blasts Frosty with this rancid burning fart. And as you're spraying him, he's just, oh no, you found my only weakness.
It's not much of a weakness, Iceman. You know what happens when fire meets ice? The ice melts. And as the Grinch who stole Christmas was laughing gleefully, he was slowly melting. Poor old Frosty.
And as he sort of, the last of him turns into a puddle, you just hear him go, happy birthday.
How did you know it was my birthday? Frosty, I'm sorry.
And there's just a hat and some lumps of coal and a carrot laying on the ground there.
I'll just take the hat and put it on my head in respects.
And as you do that, sort of the misfit elves all sort of part ways and run in to go let the big man loose.
Weird.
So I think at this point there's a sleigh of the like elf SWAT patrol that comes around the corner, and one of my minions shoots them with a rocket launcher.
Fair.
Effective, isn't it? Quite infective. Explosive.
Now to get out of here with all those
here you go.
toys.
The toys. Don't you want them? Come on. Here.
Yes.
Yeah. Load them in the sleigh. Come on.
Suppose we should put them in the van.
I was the one that built the van. We wouldn't be here without the van. Well, I wouldn't have the toys without me. I think a little respect and a more than healthy margin in shares is advised. Max is still half loaded.
And
very, very.
Does somebody want to give me a D6 roll just to see if you make it out of here with the toys or if you're captured?
My dice have done nothing tonight. I
Okay.
unvolunteer myself.
I got a 1.
Ask. I'll say you guys managed to get the toys loaded into the back of the van and take off in your van sleigh off into the night sky to never be seen or heard from until next year.
Until next year.
Well, that's a fun little system.
Intro and outro music by the band 12 Noon. You can email us at meandsteverpg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at @RPGs. Find us on Facebook at Me and Steve RPG Podcast. On Discord at Me and Steve RPGs. And as always, all of these links are in the show notes. Thank you, and be kind to one another.
How much for the cigar?
Cigar, $20, dog. You gotta go down the street to the store and buy that.